Nicolás Maduro, former president of Venezuela and current inmate of New York City. Yeah, he was president of Venezuela. And then all of a sudden, he wasn't. The story is even crazier. What happened was, and you can go check this yourself, what happened was, Nicolás Maduro was on TV giving an interview. And then he joked about how people are threatening him, alluding to Donald Trump. And he was like, man, I'll be fine, we'll be good. And then he played a song, no war, just peace. And then he started mocking Trump by doing Donald Trump's dance move. Like the move, singular. Right? Yeah, he did the move. So he came on and then he did the... You know the move, the double jerk off. And Trump saw that and he was like, go get that man. Go get that man. Military went, got Maduro, brought him in, put him in a jail. Not just any prison, by the way. They put him in a prison in Brooklyn. The same prison where they are housing Diddy. Imagine that. I thought I had problems. Nicolás Maduro, he's having, whew. Imagine the irony of his situation. He was witnessing America rolling out the most brutal deportation campaign ever. And in the midst of that, you're the one immigrant they import. Maduro's probably the only immigrant who supports ICE. Yeah, he used his one phone call for them. He's like, hello, ICE, come get me, man, come get me. Yeah. No, come on, I'll fly myself. Let's work together. Come on, we can do this, guys. We can do this. That's why I say you don't know how it's going to go. Nobody knows anymore. What a crazy twist of fate. Can you imagine? For decades, you ruled your empire with an iron fist. You terrorized people around you. You were violent, never held accountable. And now, they've taken away all your oil, and you're in the same prison as Nicolás Maduro. I met Julius, in real life for the first time this year. Yeah, which was strange for me because I don't normally meet these people I speak about. No, which I prefer, don't get me wrong. Like if I was in Pick and Pay and then I saw Zuma, I'd be like, oh, no, we don't need toilet paper, let's go. But I met Julius Malema. I'll never forget the day. I was in Rosebank having dinner with some friends of mine, and these friends had come to visit me from Germany. And so I'm showing them around town, and right now we're having dinner. All of a sudden, there's commotion in the restaurant. There's people whispering, people looking around. There's something happening. And I turn, I look at the door, and the one and only Julius Malema is standing there, in the flesh. I'm like, oh wow, that's Julius Malema. And just as I'm about to go back to eating, he turns, looks straight at my table, and starts walking to me. But now I'm like, he's not coming to me. He's probably going to, I don't know, he can go anywhere. Why would he be coming to me? It's not like he has a reason. Okay, maybe he's got a reason, but whatever, just ignore him. Just ignore him, Trevor. That's what I'm thinking. Ignore him. Ignore him. Just calm down. He can smell fear. Just ignore him. Ignore him, Trevor. Ignore him. So I'm just trying to do the thing. I'm trying to ignore him, but I can't because the waiters won't let me. The waiters are there like, Trevor. The waiters behind him were even worse. They were like... Now I'm panicking. What if the guy's coming to me? But I'm like, no, he's not coming to me. But you know what? He was coming straight to me. Julius Malema to my table. He stops at my chair, looks me straight in the eye and goes, funny guy. Now I didn't know if he was announcing himself or... or referring to me. Hey, Juju.
So this is you, eh?
I said, yeah, this is me. And this is you, I guess.
Yeah, this is me. So now,
I was like, oh man, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know, does he want to talk? Does he want to argue? Maybe he wants to fight. He's gonna try to punch me or something. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't. All I know is the colored side of me is holding the knife tight. I'm ready, eh? One mistake, and I'm there. Yeah. And it was a butter knife, but I didn't care. Just needed to flinch and be, yes, Annie, yes, Annie, yes, Annie, yes, Annie. Butter you to death. Die of cholesterol. But you know what? I didn't need the knife. Because Julius Malema is actually one of the most chilled out guys you'll meet in person. Smarter than people think he is as well. We get to chatting. Julius looks at me, he's like,
so funny guy, what's new, eh?
so, well, you've got a new political party, yeah? What's happening there? He says,
Yeah, we are taking Zuma down.
oh, that's what you said last time, man.
This time we are winning. Yeah, and you, when is your next show?
So, no, I've got one coming up in a few months.
Yeah, you must put me in, eh?
So, I probably will.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
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 We're not friends. Conversations run out. Now we're just looking at each other. And then I remembered there was something I'd always wanted to know. I had noticed on Twitter there was a Julius Malema account with hundreds of thousands of followers. And every day it would post things, motivational quotes, jokes, things that made sense. I was like, this is not Julius. It can't be him. This is too light-hearted. This is not Julius Malema. But now he was here next to me, so I could ask him, and I did. I said, hey, Julius, do you know about Twitter?
I said, yes, I know it.
So there's an account there with your name. Is that you?
I said, yes, that's me. @Julius_S_Malema. You must follow me.
I was like, oh no, that's cool, man. But wow, I was shocked. Not that he was on Twitter. I just never thought I'd hear Julius say the word underscore. No, because it's such an obscure key on a keyboard. You know, I don't know why. I never thought he was. I bet he knows all the keys. I'm sure he sits there every day by himself, like
Keyboard quiz, go. F1, F5, F7, enter. Space, delete, Zuma. PVNM, control the minds. QWERT/escape from SARS. VPNM, :semicolon, dash. Down dash. Dash, small dash, dash. Dash on the ground. Dash that have been oppressed by the other keys on the keyboard. Why don't they allow this dash to come up where it belongs? This dash to...
I did not picture him saying underscore. But he did. Surprised me. And we chatted for a few minutes like friends. And as Julius is walking away, I looked over at him and I said, hey, Julius, do me one favor, man.
I said, name it.
I said, please stop scaring white people.
So what do you mean?
I said, dude, you scare white people. You say crazy things like you're going to take the land and the mines, and to stop saying that stuff, you scare white people.
Like, they're not scared of me.
I said, they are, Julius. And so then he looks at my friends from Germany and he's like,
are you scared?
But luckily the Germans weren't scared. They were like, nein, we're not scared. We're not scared at all. Not scared.
It was like, you see, they are not scared of me.
I was like, yeah, but Julius, these white people are not from South Africa.
It's like, yeah, which ones are?
That was funny. I was like, touche. He says,
Oh, I don't have any. Nice meeting you, eh?
he's a fun guy, Julius. But I still wouldn't vote for him. Dignitaries, a lot of politicians, the ANC was out in full force. They were attending, the DA didn't come. They don't do soccer. No, thank you. Yeah. But the ANC was there. Jacob Zuma was in the balcony waving at everybody, because elections are coming up, so you're going to see him everywhere now. Just there waving. Yeah, you're going to see him in the streets waving. You're going to see him at the rallies dancing. Yeah, he's going to be out shaking hands, kissing babies, mostly his babies, but still, vote for me. Because he knows he has to connect with the people. The ANC is having a tough time right now. This is one of the worst times in ANC history. Highest levels of corruption, lowest levels of service delivery. The ANC is just a shadow of its former self. Yeah. People in the ANC are disgusted by the ANC. They stand there like, ANC. Man. No, man, enough, man, no. Come on, ANC. They say this while looking in the mirror. Come on, ANC. Can do better, man. Come on, man. It's gotten bad. It's so bad, even Malema doesn't go anywhere with Jacob. Have you noticed this? Vice president, but you never see them together. Because Malema's like, I don't want that guy. Always tells Jacob's like, let's go, Malema. He's like, I'll meet you in front, go. No, Dr. Pambili, hamba wena, Dr. Pambili. It's gotten bad. Who do you vote for? I don't know anymore. I don't know. People are like, yeah, now it's time for the DA, Trevor. It's time for the DA. Eish, not yet. It's just, my problem with the DA is they don't offer solutions. They complain. That's what the DA is good at, Very good at complaining. They're always telling you, this is wrong, that's wrong. E-tolls, proudly brought to you by ANC. Proudly brought to you by ANC. That's wrong. You're like, yeah, that's wrong. What would you do to fix it? Well, we didn't think that far ahead. We just know it's wrong. So do we. Can't vote for you. Who do you vote for? There's new parties coming up. That's a gang, yes? A gang, yes. Mampele, Rampele. It's a fun name, won't make me vote for you though. Yes, Dr. Mampele. Used to date Steve Biko, so she knows about the struggle. She's intelligent, an elderly black woman. And she came out, she denounced the ANC. She said, the ANC is not what it used to be in this country. As black people, we need to stand up and realize that change is needed. Vote for Ahang, wait, and vote for change. We're like, yeah, you go, girl. Well, then she made a big mistake. She challenged Jacob Zuma directly, head to head. But she used money as her platform. Big mistake. Never bring money up around Jacob, ever. No, because I don't know if you've noticed, our president never admits to money. There's always money around him, but it's never his. Always. Oh, it's the Sheikh's money, it's the Gupta's money. It's never his money. He's always there like, no, it's not mine, it's not mine. It's not mine, it's not mine. I don't know, it's not mine, it's not mine. Yeah. Building a house for 250 million rand. Jacob, where the hell is that money coming from? I have a bond for 800,000 with FNB. I got 800,000, 250 million. That's not my problem. My calculator said it's fine. Mampele tried to challenge him. She came out one day. She said, Jacob Zuma has not declared his income as our president. He does not tell Parliament how much money he has. We want to know how much he has and how much he gets from other people. I will lead by example. I, as Mampele Rampele, have 55 million rand. Jacob, how much do you have? People were like, yeah, how much do you... Whoa. Come again? 55 million. Where did you get that money? It's like, I'm on the board of many companies. I work very hard. Yeah, even me, I work hard. But 55 million. How much overtime is that one? 55. We had to be 55 million. It's like, no, I worked for it. But we want to know, where does Jacob get his money? Hey, don't worry about that guy, lady. Don't worry. We know where he got it. He stole it. But you, we had to be 55 million. I don't know who to vote for anymore. Who do you vote for? Who out there? Julius?
Economic freedom fighters.
Those guys are so cute. Have you seen them with their little red hats?
We are here for change. Vote for change. Economic freedom fighters.
I'll never vote for Julius, ever. He's fun, but I won't vote for him. No, for one main reason. He's a flip-flopper. I don't like people that do that. They just change. Julius, for years, preached ANC. You'd see him in the streets.
Vote ANC. If the ANC loses power on this country, black people will die.
And then the ANC kicked him out. Now he's like,
don't vote ANC.
black people are like, Mara Julius, we don't want to die, my man. You said we'll die.
I said, no, that was just for effect, my friend. Exaggerating for effect.
He's like, we're not taking a chance, Baba. We're not taking a chance. But nice head, eh? I can't vote for Julius. Can't do that. He's a bitter person. Bitter people do it for the wrong reasons. Yeah. Julius is basically like those guys that dates a beautiful woman. The woman dumps them, then he turns around and calls her a slut. That's what he's done.
Yeah, ANC's a bitch.
I thought you loved her.
Not anymore.
I have to hope that your team has won. It's just too much pressure on me, you know? Last week, the Springboks lost. People came to the show, they were grumpy. This was like a row of Afrikaans guys the whole time just looking at me like... It's like I was the ref. They're just sitting there in their Springbok tops, all of them. I mean, it could have been the team, I don't really know. I don't... No, because I don't know what they look like. I only know a few guys. Could have been them. They're super angry. Afrikaans people get angry when the Springboks lose, eh?
Bloody ref. The ref robbed us, stupid ref. Bloody guy giving out yellow cards like it's bloody Christmas here, man.
I'm like, what? Who gets yellow cards for Christmas?
That's not the point. Shut up. You know what I mean.
What a horrible Christmas that would be. Merry Christmas! Yellow card. 10 minutes. Go away. Go away. I'm not surprised when the guys get angry, you know? I'm not surprised when Afrikaans guys get angry because rugby itself is a very angry sport. It's just like, you know, like I always get weirded out the way they tackle each other. They're crunching and they're busy punching and fighting. And, you know, it's weird for me when the ref stops the fights. That's the weirdest thing. Like, he'll stop it and go, hey, guys, come on. We don't need that violence in this sport. Come on. And they go, play the game. That's better. People walk off the field bleeding, bruised. One guy came back on with a bandage. Why would you come, like, you're bleeding, just sit, you bleed. Like, blood is your body's way of telling you to stop. That's what your body's saying. And you come back, what are you doing? Where's your mom? Just sit down and relax.
No, I want to play rugby.
You're not playing rugby, you're suffering rugby. That's what they should say. I suffer rugby every Saturday. Such a rough sport. And then you get these ministers that are like, we demand a quota system. We want more black players in the national rugby team. And black people are like, maybe you, Baba. Maybe you. Ngena. Me, I'm here. Quota system. It's tough. People get angry when the Springboks. The Springboks, they don't even need to lose a lot. One game and people get depressed, you know? They're like an A student that gets a B and people are worried, you know? Whereas when Bafana loses, no one really cares. Oh, Bafana. We've become so complacent with that team. Like, anything is enough for us. Have you noticed that? Anything. Yeah, Bafana's like our special child, like, you know? Where's there, like, hey, welcome home, Bafanas, welcome. What happened? Oh, you got a D. Well done, boy. Well done, boy. Got a D, eh? Hey, at least you finished the test this time. Well done, Bafanas. Bafana, that's what they do. They lose or they draw. They don't win. No. Drawing is a win for us. Yes, we drew. They lose. Although they won their last qualifying match against Botswana. That was a good thing, yes. Bafana beat Botswana. Yes, the great footballing nation that is Botswana. Destroyed them. 2-1. They won't mess with us again. I'm glad Bafana won. I'm glad, you know. It was a weird match, though. We were in Durban when the match was being played. And it was a weird day because Bafana won, but then they weren't through yet because we needed Ethiopia to lose in order for them to go through, which is always weird. Bafana does that to us. You always have to support other teams and them. It's so much stress. Now you're there. Come on, Gabon. And so Bafana won, but the people in the stadium didn't know the other results. So they were happy. They were cheering. They thought we're going to Brazil. People were happy. The guy in the stadium, well done, Bafana, Bafana. People, yeah. Unfortunately, Ethiopia has qualified for the Brazil World Cup. It was the first time in my life I heard a depressed and confused vuvuzela, eh? Sounded like an animal dying in a corner somewhere. Because 1 minute it was confident, it was there like... But it's good that they won, you know? They needed to win. The only reason I want Bafana to win is because whenever Bafana loses, xenophobia goes up in South Africa. Yeah, this is a trend I've noticed. I've started seeing this. It even happens at the matches. Zambia played against Bafana, beat them, and then when the Zambian team was leaving the stadium, the Bafana fans started throwing stones at the Zambian bus. Yeah, throwing stones, thousands of fans. Could have hurt the people badly. I don't know why they weren't throwing at Bafana, because they didn't win. But they were throwing at the Zambians. Could have hurt them. Nobody was hurt though, luckily. Yeah, because it was Bafana fans, so the stones were just like... Just couldn't hit the target. Xenophobia always goes up. Yeah. It's gotten so bad that foreigners have started supporting Bafana now. You go to the matches and you'll see giant guys in skinny Bafana shirts shouting, Jabalala! Jabala, can I go pass that ball for him? Pass that ball for that man. That's it, Nigeria can take that ball. You cannot shoot that one. Why don't shoot for that man? Why don't shoot for him? You're like, yo, man, you're Nigerian. Support Nigeria. It's like, I support my life, huh? Don't worry about me. I support my life. And I can store that thing for you. Oh, good. Like I have to work hard at it, and I'm willing to do the time. Yeah. I took the first opportunity I could, bought myself a plane ticket from South Africa, and I said, I'm going out to America. I'm going there, and I'm going to be black. And I got on that plane. It was an 18-hour flight, 18 hours of non-stop flying, and I sat there in my chair, and I spent every moment practicing being black, just practicing. I was like, I'm not gonna mess up this black opportunity. I just sat there, just working through everything. I was watching every black movie and TV show, just going through it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. King Kong ain't got shit on me. Yeah. What you talking about, Willis? I was grinding. You laugh, but 18 hours of flying and I landed in JFK and I was fluent in my black American. For shizzle my nizzle. I was walking around. I was so black, I was even laughing black. I was like, ha, ha, ha. Yeah. My man. Ha, ha. Should have seen me. It was like, oh, this you? That has to be the personification of cool, in my opinion. There's nothing cooler. Black Americans are so cool, they can make you feel good about yourself just by asking if you are you. You don't believe me? Get a black American man to come up to you and just be like, hey, yo, this you? Nah, this you? And you'll be like, I think it is. It's magic. I was that black. Not just any black, but the coolest black in the world, and that's American black. I can say this with confidence, being from Africa. I know black. I'm well-versed in the arts of black. I'm from the black factory. I mean it. I've seen every kind of black, from light black all the way to like navy blue black. I know black. And there's no cooler black than American black. Nothing cooler, you know? Because American black people, I mean, you just look at how much they've done to influence modern-day pop culture, you know? Small things and the big alike. You look at the music. You've got, you know, jazz, hip-hop, R&B, all black Americans, style of clothing, you know, just this general swag that they've brought to everything. Even small things like walking. I mean, walking is such a mundane activity, isn't it? It's just there's nothing cool about this thing. You just move from one place to the next, and pretty much everybody can do it. This is it. There's nothing. And then black Americans came along, and then they just added in that bounce, and then all of a sudden you look really cool. You just, you look like you have a purpose. You've just got that. Yeah, look at this. It's super cool. And it must be hard for an assassin to kill you, just like. That's why if you look in American history, no black man was ever assassinated whilst walking, ever. So it was when they stopped and said something. Bang! That's when they were, because they got to walk. That's why if you look, Obama, every time he comes out of the jet or makes a speech, he's always just got that little bounce just before. Because in his head, he's like, you never know, you never know, you never know, you never know, you never know. Got to walk. It's a cool walk. And by far, the coolest thing of all is the talk. I've listened to black Americans, and it's the most amazing use of the English language I've ever come across in my life. Because they pay no regard to punctuation whatsoever. Just cruise through sentences. It's fantastic. First time I had a conversation with a black American man was in Baltimore, Maryland. This guy walked up to me after the show. He didn't even walk. He just floated in. Just came up to me and was like, hey, yo, B, hey, yo, hey, yo. Hey, yo, let me holler at you for a minute, man. Let me holler at you. I said, okay. He's like, man, I ain't even gonna front, man. I ain't gonna front. I came out here, dude. I ain't even know who you was, man. I didn't even know I was out here at the show. I bought my girl. We was out there. You came out there. You were doing your thing. I was like, yo, man, I ain't even know they got them yellow bones out there in the motherland, man. I was like, yo, this kid better be funny, man, but I ain't gonna lie. You came out there, you was keeping it coming, keeping it moving. You was just beasting. I was like, all right, man, maybe this kid is the truth, yeah? This kid was doing his thing. He was keeping it out there. I started laughing. My girl was killing herself. I was like, all right, this mofo got flow for show. You know what I mean? And I was like, no, I don't. But I love it. It's the most amazing use of English I've ever come across in my life. Just that one word alone, just the strength of that. Nah mean. Do you know what I mean? You nah mean? It sums it all up, doesn't it? It's just, neither question nor statement. It's just, like, why have we been wasting our time with syllables for so long? I don't understand. It was a crazy day today, you know what I mean? Yo, that shit was crazy, you know what I mean? It just flows, it's magical. It says it all. I feel like I've wasted years of my life without nah mean. I wish I could go back in time and relive my favorite moments, watch my favorite movies again, seeing them bring to life. This is Sparta! Nah mean! Power. Let's give it something, I want to take that word home with me, home to Africa. I hope and I pray that someday I have a daughter, just so I may name her Namin, No, because it sounds exotic and foreign. It has that thing to it. You'd be like, Trevor, who's that? Oh, this? Oh, it's my baby girl, Namin. It just has it, It's wonderful. Just go back. I bet even greats like Shakespeare would have loved to use that word. They say he invented more words than anyone, but not me. Oh, I bet he's in his grave going, I wish I had. You can see it on one of those great plays on the stages of Manchester and London. Theatre actors just walking out there with their big collars. Ah, yes, Prometheus, and hither doth he come. Why, I am the son of a humble thespian. Nah, mean. That's the magic. That's what I was, man. I was that black. You should have seen me. Just walking around the airport, shouting random things. Brooklyn! I didn't even know where that was. I was super black. Until some guy came up to me and he was like, Oye, papi! Ya llegamos, Pecado conocemos! I said, what? He's like, yo, man, we made it, man, we made it. And now that we're here, our kind, we got to stick together, man. Our kind. 18 hours of flying and I still wasn't black. I was Puerto Rican. My dreams were dashed. And I thought it was a once-off, but it's not, you know. Go around on the East Coast, places like Miami. Oh, that's the worst for me. Walk around the streets of Miami and I see people who look exactly like me, and you know, they see me, I see them. We give each other that look of home, like. Guys come up to me, they're like, "Hey, ¿qué pasó? ¿Qué pasa con los celos?" Like, whoa, 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 whoa. Yo, I don't speak Spanish, man. Guy was like, "What? You don't speak Spanish?" I said, no, I don't. He's like, "You should be ashamed of yourself." I said, no, I shouldn't be ashamed. It's not my culture. I'm actually South African. He's like, "South African? Like you were born there?" So yeah, my whole life. He's like, "Africa?" So yeah, he's like, "Africa? I said, no, the one next to it. Yes, Africa. He's like, "Oh man, you don't look like you're from Africa, man." So what the hell is that supposed to mean? He's like, "I don't know. You look like you grew up in the shade, man." Asshole. Because that's what people expect, isn't it? Yeah, that's what everyone expects. When they hear Africa, that's all they think. Those are the images they see. Say, "This next comedian is from Africa." And people think a guy in leopard skin will come running on the stage. Like, "Let me tell you monkey jokes." And it's not like that, you know? It's not. I mean, I do have good monkey jokes, but that's not what I'm saying. That's not the point. Just everyone has these images of Africa, and it's not your fault as Americans. I understand that as Americans, like, you don't know much about South Africa. I've realized this in my time here. You don't know much about Africa as a whole, which is, you guys don't know much about anything, but that's not your fault. It's just you guys are so big and America-centric, you know? And you don't get outside images. You don't see anything. In fact, in my time in America, the only thing I've seen of Africa is always those ads. Have you seen those commercials? Those UNICEF ads have you seen those? They're asking you for the money. I hate those ads. They don't even warn you that those things are coming on TV. I was sitting there enjoying myself, watching comedy shows, and the next thing you know, you just see this horrible village. It's just dirty, and there's old rusting buildings, and these sad black people, and I'm looking, I'm like, ooh, where is that? Cleveland? And then a thing comes up, and it's like, Africa. I'm like, really? Where? And then they show you the starving people, and it's always the same. They've always got the starving look. They always do the pose. They've always got that, like, "Why haven't you called" look. One by one. And they show you these people, and there's a starving mother and a starving child, and it's horrible. And then there's a celebrity. There's always, the most important thing is a celebrity who comes out. And they speak for them. You know, that way we'll understand. And the one I saw was Penelope Cruz. She was the celebrity. She's beautiful. Oh, and she came out, and the starving mother and child were there, and Penelope came out. She was next. Well, she wasn't next to them. It was blue screen. But she wanted to be there. She walked out. She pointed, and she was like, "This is Africa. Did you know every year more than 5 million children in Africa die of waterborne illnesses and diseases that could have been prevented? You can make a difference in this child's life. I know you're sitting at home, and like me, you're saying, 'Ba Penelope, I'm so far. What can I do to help?' Well, I'm here to tell you, it's easier than you think." And it's a wonderful message, and she's beautiful. I'm really trying to pay attention to this, but for the life of me, I can't concentrate because I'm watching, and out of the corner of my eye, there's this fly that's just buzzing around. It's buzzing, and she's just ignoring it, and the fly is there on the eye. How does a fly sit on your eye? You see with the thing in in the mouth, and I can't concentrate while. How do they get the fly there every single time? Can somebody tell me this? In every ad, in every single ad, the fly is there, and it's always in exactly the same place for the entire ad. For the entire ad, I can't get a fly to sit still in my kitchen for 4 seconds, and I sneak up really slowly. But they can get the fly to sit there every single time they film. I'm starting to think it's like a trick fly. It's a Hollywood fly, isn't it? One of those trained creatures from Disney. I know what those guys are capable of. I've seen Lassie. A trained fly. They probably got the fly on lockdown. They're ready. They get everybody together. They got the starving people. They're like, okay, we're ready to shoot. Where's the fly? Here, sir. Here, sir. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. Get it. And stay. Action. Did you know every year more than 5 million children are starving? Horrible. Hate those ads. Hate the people who make those ads. I mean, there's people starving everywhere in the world. But you know, you can give them a bit of dignity. You know, and I hate the people in those ads as well, because they make Africans look bad. Yeah. And I can say that. You go, oh, but don't hate them, they're starving. No, you know what? I don't care. I don't care. I really don't. Because people starving everywhere. And I grew up in a black family in Africa. And no matter how poor or hungry we were, we could still do this. But if you expanded your view, you realized that the rise of nationalism is taking place all over the world. In Austria, in Australia, in England. That was what Brexit was all about, right? They made it seem like it was about the economy, but it wasn't. The truth was, it was fundamentally people who wanted their country back. It never went anywhere, but they still wanted it back. I saw people on the news talking to the BBC. That's why I'm voting for Brexit. That's why I'm voting for Brexit, right? Because this bloody country is going to the dogs, right? This bloody country, and I want Britain back. That's why we're voting for Brexit, because we want Britain back. From who? From who? Britain is like 95% white. Who do you want it back from? People saying the weirdest things, the craziest things. These bloody immigrants, they come over here, they're up to no good, right? I hate these bloody immigrants, they need to go back to where they came from. But why do you hate them so much? I'll tell you why I hate them. I'll tell you why, right? Because they're not even trying to be British. That's why. They don't even try to be British, right? They come here, they bring their own bloody culture, right? They bring their own food, speak their own bloody languages, try to take over the whole bloody place. Well, that sounds British to me. I mean... If there's one country, if there's one nation in the world that has no right to complain about immigration, it's Great Britain. If there's one nation in particular, you do understand, they created the problem that they are now dealing with. They went out and colonized the world. At one point, half of the globe was controlled by the British Empire. Do you understand how insane that is? They went around colonizing from pillar to post. People didn't care about them. No one was trying to find the British. The British were the ones traveling the world, telling everyone of their existence, knocking on doors. Hey, we're the British, follow us. It's basically ancient Twitter, that's what that was. And I'm not saying the British are bad people, by the way. You know? I understand that colonization was something that was popular at one time. Many European countries participated in it. But the British were the best. You know, they were the best. It's not because they were bad. I think I blame it on the weather. That's what I think happened. I think they have bad weather, and bad weather makes you a bad person. Yeah, because if you think about it, there was no one from a tropical climate who was trying to take over the world. You don't ever hear stories of Caribbean conquerors. Yeah, there's no stories of like Troy the Terrible from Trinidad. You don't hear these stories. There's no need for that. When the weather's horrible, you want to go somewhere else and take it from somebody. If you're living in a beautiful paradise, you have no need to leave. Can you imagine that scene? Just some random handsome guys hanging out on a beach in the Caribbean. One looking at the other out of nowhere. Darius! Darius! What, Troy? I was thinking, bro. Stay with me here. I was thinking, right? We should build boats, sail around the world, and force everyone to dance calypso. It wouldn't happen. It just wouldn't happen. The British colonized with class. They went all over the globe. And you know, colonization, we read about it now, and it seems normal, because it's in a history book. They colonize. But when you think about colonization, it is the strangest thing you can think about. Because conquering is one thing. You go to another country, you take what's theirs. You want more. You take the land, you take the resources, you kill the people. That I understand. But colonization, I don't condone, I understand. But colonization is strange, because you go there and you don't just take over, you then force the people to become you. That is such a strange concept. When you think about where the British did it, I mean, they did it in Africa, they did it in Asia, and think about in India. Those cultures could not be more diametrically opposed. And out of nowhere, the British just decided to roll up. Imagine what the Indians must have felt like on that day. Minding your own business, walking through a field. Next thing you know, the British showed up on horseback. Hear ye, hear ye. By order of Her Majesty the Queen, we have arrived. You over there, what is the name of this land? This land over here? This is called India. Well, my good man, I am here to tell you that India is now under the British Empire. And I'm glad that I can tell you that India is exactly where it was yesterday. No, I feel you're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm letting you know that we're here to colonize you by order of the Queen. Who is the Queen? The Queen of England, the ruler of Great Britain. She who was ordained by God. Which God? God. The one true God. There are many gods, my friend. What is the name of your God? There is only one God, and his name is God, and you too shall worship him. You want me to worship a God, but you don't want to tell me his name? What are you talking about? There are many gods, okay? There is Shiva, there is Lakshmi, there is Hare Krishna, there are many gods. What is the name of your God? His name is God. You don't know the name of your God? It's just God. Is it like mommy or daddy? You want me to worship your God, but you don't want me to tell me his name, huh? How am I going to pray to him? What do I do? Every morning I go to wake up, and I pray like, oh, dear God, I was hoping that maybe God, you could help me. No, sorry, not you, other God. No, other God. No, not wrong God. No, God, I was trying to talk to other. No, you're right. I should have asked for her first name. No, God. No, other God, please. No, God behind that God. No, not you today, God. Other God. You're right. He told me he would know I was talking to, and I don't. No, other God, please. That God on that. No, that God. Then I wonder why my prayers are not getting answered, huh? How dare you speak to me like that? Do you know who I am? No, because you never introduced yourself. I have come here representing Great Britain. And I have never heard of Great Britain. Who gave you that name? Well, we did. You called yourselves great? Isn't that a little presumptuous? Shouldn't you wait for other people to tell you how great you are? Huh? Shouldn't you just go around the world and just do good things? Then people go, oh my God, Britain, look how great you are. Well, I beg to differ. I believe we could do it because we knew instinctively. We are Great Britain. Well, in that case, welcome to Great India. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. How dare you speak to me like this? Look, you're the one who dares to speak to me, okay? I was here minding my own business in my land. You came over here riding on your skinny cow telling me that things are going to change. I don't know who you are. All I know is you are really crazy, okay? You're not feeling too right, and I didn't want to say anything, but you look like you're going to faint. In fact, it looks like you have died last week, okay? Something is very wrong with your skin. You're not looking good, my friend. Maybe you should come down. We have a curry, we talk about this. What are you talking about? I look quite normal. You do not look normal, my friend. I've never seen anybody with that complexion in my life, okay? You look like you're playing hide and seek with the sun your entire life. I don't know what is happening, but that is not how a person should look, huh? I can see your veins pumping through your skin right now. Do you know how creepy that is? Pumping, 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 pumping. If I was your doctor, I don't need X-ray machine. I just go, what is problem? It is your kidney. How do I know? Because you're translucent. That is how I know. Damn you, we are going to run this country whether you like it or not. We are not going to do anything you tell us. You're a madman. We are going to take it. You're not taking. We're going... She's all yours. Take. Don't play nice. Take. And that's how the British took over. That's how they took over India. And then, many, many years later, the British, after they were done pillaging, left and went back home. And so it only stands to reason that those Indians, who they had now made British, would seek out the land from whence they came. I don't understand why British people are complaining, going, why are they coming here? Why the hell are you coming here? Because you told us how great it was, so we came to see for ourselves. No. Go back to where you came from. Go back. You're not welcome here. This is not your home. But you said we are all part of the British Empire. No, when I said part, I meant you are under us, right? We're the British. You are the empire. What do you mean? We are the British and you are the empire. Okay, well in that case, the empire strikes back. Now make some curry and tell me where we're sitting, okay? Atlanta, it was 107 degrees Fahrenheit. Hottest weather. The worst thing is everyone comes up to me and they go, well, you must be used to this being from Africa. And no, I'm not. I'm from Africa, but that shit is hot. That was just, no. I was scared to go jogging because I thought if I ran out in the streets and fainted, wouldn't the local news love that? I'd be running and I'd fall down in the heat. They would have their vans reporting live. They'd be standing there going, so hot in Atlanta, even Africans are fainting. So I'm enjoying this. Really happy to be here, you know. This is going to be good for us, I hope. I say I hope because I never know with stand-up comedy. It's just, you know, it's an awkward experience, I find. I'm always nervous. I find comedy is very similar to sex for me. Well, it's exactly like sex when you think about it. With me, the comedian, playing the role of the man, and you, the audience, the role of the woman. Because it's my job to satisfy you. And you just have to sit there. And then, just like sex, my success or failure will somehow be determined by how much noise you make during my performance. Which makes it a one-sided affair, I feel, you know? I mean, maybe you're the quiet type. I hope we have magic tonight. I hope we create something wonderful. I mean, for many of us, it's our first time together, and that means it might be awkward. I understand this. And if that's the case, I want you to know that I'll look into your eyes, I'll see that I'm freaking you out, and I'll stop. I'll stop. I'll flip you back over and we'll go back to the simple stuff. Okay. I've been in America for a few months now, and I'm really just thrown by the place. It's not what I expected at all. Different from the brochures and the pamphlets. There's many assumptions I had about America before I came here, and I've come to learn that those were wrong. For one, I just assumed people spoke English here. It's far from it. It's not, you know what, it's not so much the language, so much as the pronunciation of words that throws me off. It's just what Americans have done with the language. You guys have just, wow, you've done something. You've put 22s on the English language. You've got rims that just pimp my language. That's what you've gone with, you know? I don't understand. I was chatting to this woman downtown the other day. She came up to me and she wanted me to see something. I don't know what though. She was like, oh my God, look over there. I said, look over what? She's like, over there. Look at that her. And I said, her? She's like, no, her. Like, there's two of them? I understand nothing, even the small words, just the pronunciation, small things that get you by. For instance, I pronounce the opposites of uncle as aunt. I say my aunt. Out here, you say my ant, which to me is an insect, which made me look like an ass when my friend told me his aunt died. And I was like, so what? There's tons of those out there. What a great way to end a friendship. I couldn't get help the other day when searching for a battery for my remote control, because that's what I say, battery, a small form of power. So in America, you say battery, which to me is a different form of power. Sponsored by Chris Brown. And you know what to understand? We live on different sides of the globe, so it's fine. The language will evolve. This is something I've come to understand. But I hope I change one thing in your hearts forever. Just one thing. And that is that animal in the wild that looks like a horse. It has black and white stripes. Yeah, do me a favor. From now on, please, it's not zebra, okay? It's zebra. Yeah? Just like it's not Debra, it's Deborah. Same structure of word. Plus, you cannot name them because you do not have them. Zebra. This is madness. Everything out here is different. Do you know how hard it is to learn when you come out here? You have to change everything. There's the measurement system, which is just, America, you guys have your own thing, the imperial system, On my side of the world, we use the metric system, and by my side, I mean the rest of the world, We have the metric system, which is, amongst other things, very efficient. It's a very simple process. Everything goes into each other. And out here you have imperial, which is fine. I won't judge you. If you want to be imaginary, that's up to you. But I just feel like there's some consistency that's needed. Small things. Like, for instance, when we abbreviate our small measurement, milligrams, we use mg, milligrams. Mg, milligrams. And you guys have ounces, which you then abbreviate OZ. There's no Z in the word, ounces. I don't know. That's pale in comparison to what you've done with pounds. That for me, please explain to me how the abbreviation for pounds became LBS. LB, pounds. I look like the idiot walking into the store going, could I please have the 2 labs bag of sugar? Guy was like, you mean pounds? I said, I don't see the P. No, I don't. He said, well, it means pounds. It's not LBS. A lot of bullshit. That's what it stands for. This is horrible. In fact, it's crazy. You do realize the imperial system is so inefficient that even American drug dealers have switched over to metric. Even drug dealers got to the point where they said, we need some order, we're going with metric. And I honestly thought this was an anomaly. I thought, you know what, this is just one of those things, it's a coincidence, but it's not. Americans do not care about abbreviation nor the English language. They don't give a damn. I learned this in the small things. Like for instance, when I was in Tennessee, I stumbled on an organization known as the Ku Klux Klan. You heard of them? Worst magic show ever. Guy gave me a pamphlet. He was like, come and see the Grand Wizard. Grand Wizard, the Grand Wizard. Didn't do one trick. Not even one trick. I noticed a few black people disappear, but that's not magic. No, that's just Reaganomics. I wasn't impressed by that. Like, where's the magic? I sat there forever. These guys running around in their sheets. Yeah, the KKK, as they're affectionately known. Has nobody bothered to tell them ever that you do not spell clan with a K? Nobody stopped. Even in America, clan is spelt with a C. The Ku Klux Klan, they're the KKC, not the KKK. You realize that? Ku Klux Klan. C. In fact, the name is wrong, the whole thing, the Ku Klux parts of it. That's just horrible, because they got that, as you know, from ancient Greece. It was Ku Klux Alphion, meaning a circle of brothers. And that's how they got their name. They called themselves a Greek circle of brothers, which is wrong for two reasons. One, if your sole purpose as an organization is to hate black people, don't you find it strange that you've now named yourself the Circle of Brothers? And secondly, do they realize that in ancient Greece, circles of brothers were doing very different things with one another? Very loving, very, yeah. If they were really a Greek circle, the sheets would be a bit higher up, just more of a, yeah, maybe one more hole. They're not I love it. I have no problem with these things. I will learn them. I'm willing to take this in my stride, because that's not why I came to America, not to analyze the English language. No, I came to America because I always wanted one thing, and that is I always wanted to be black. You laugh, but it's true. That's all I ever wanted. I grew up in South Africa during a time known as Apartheid. And for those who don't know, Apartheid was a law in South Africa that made it illegal for black and white people to interact with each other, If you did that, then you would get into trouble. So for instance, there's a black young lady here sitting with the white guy. If you did this in South Africa, then they'd arrest you guys. You couldn't, during Apartheid, well, they'd arrest the black girl. They just ask you not to do it again. And so this was awkward for me, because I grew up in a mixed family, Well, with me being the mixed one in the family. My mother's a black woman, South African, and my father's Swiss, from Switzerland. So he was a white man, and basically, well, he still is a white man. It's not like he changed. Sorry, I said was, like through hard work and determination, he became black, which is not, that guy's looking at me like, is that possible? It's not, no, sir. You're fine, you're 100% fine. Your position of privilege is just the way it was. Although it would be something, though, if you could work so hard you became black. That would just be, wouldn't it? That would change the workplace forever. Just see guys walking into their office talking to the boss. Jim, I think I'm gonna take a few days off. I don't know, I feel it coming on. Yeah, I've been putting in some overtime, and I don't know, man. I just, yeah, look, I mean, the wife's loving it, but I can't take a chance. I just filled out a new loan application, and my credit's looking real good, so I'm gonna take a few days off, yeah. No, you're fine, sir. My father is alive and still very, very white. From Switzerland, my mother, Xhosa woman from South Africa, yeah. And they got together during this time, which was against the law, but they didn't care, They were mavericks. They were just, they fought the man. My mom was like, woo, I don't care, I want a white man, woo! And my dad was also like, well, you know how the Swiss love chocolate, so he was just... He was in there. And so they got together, and they had me, which was illegal. So I was born a crime, which is something they never thought through, because as a family, we couldn't live normally together, Like in the streets, my father had to walk on the other side of the road, and he could just wave at me from far, like a creepy pedophile. And then my mom could walk with me, but if the police showed up, then she'd have to let go of my hand, drop me, and act like I wasn't hers. Every time, just so we wouldn't get caught. Be like, woo! She'd be like, I don't know. It was horrible. I felt like a bag of weed. And one of the punishments for this crime was I was never afforded a race. I was never called black. I was never called white. I got horrible names like mixed breed and mutt and half caste, and it was a horrible time for me. And one fateful day, I'll never forget, I met an American in South Africa, and he said to me, well, Trevor, it's funny you say that, because if you come out to America, they'll label you as black. I said, really? And he was like, hell yeah. Oh yeah, everybody's black out there. And I was like, wow, well, I want to be black. And I found out it's true. Mixed race people are categorized as black in America. Yeah. The only catch is, and nobody tells you this, you have to be liked and successful first. Before then, they say you mixed. You achieve success, and you get upgraded to black. All the famous mixed people do it. Singers, like Alicia Keys and Mariah Carey, yeah? Mixed, but then they say black singers. Sportsmen, like Tiger Woods, mixed, but then they say black golfer. The most famous mixed person on the planet by far, Barack Obama, mixed, half and half, straight down the middle. But then they say America's first black president, which is interesting because when he was running, they called him the mixed candidate. I see how it works. Everyone makes it obvious now. They're like, yeah, Barack, of course he won, of course. It wasn't that obvious when he started. It wasn't. I remember comedians coming out. They used to diss him. Guys would come out on stage and be like, man, how many of y'all seen that crazy-ass mixed fool running for president? Y'all seen that mixed fool running for president? What you gonna see? Ain't no mixed fool gonna be president of the United States of America. Ain't no man, which white people gonna be voting for a mixed fool? Even a black man can't win shit. Even a black man can't. How some mixed fool think he gonna do it out? Man, that mixed fool, that crazy-ass mixed fool. How some mixed fool, that mixed fool? And then he won, and all of a sudden they were like, my nigga. So... beautiful place, beautiful people, rich in culture. My favorite thing to do while I was there was just try and learn the Scottish accent. I butcher it, but I don't care. I have fun. What I do when I travel is I try to speak to people in their accent and see if they can catch me out. It's one of my favorite games. Like I'd walk into a store in Edinburgh and I'd just be like, good afternoon. I would like to buy a pair of shoes. We'd be like, where are you from? I'm from Scotland. Aye, what part? Johannesburg. I love it though. I love accents not just because they sound fun and it's an interesting thing to do. I love accents because I'm always impressed by how much power they have over us, over our minds. You know, when someone speaks a certain way, it changes how we feel about that person. You know, for good and for bad. We do it all the time. You know, you see some people in the streets, they speak to you, you think of them a different way. You see world leaders, they speak a certain way, you think of them a different way. You know, Barack Obama, one of the greatest examples of that. Everything about Barack Obama was by far the coolest president that has ever existed. Just everything about the man, you know? That confidence, the smile, swag. Like, you know, when you notice Barack, like, I would notice it in the small things. Like when he'd step out of Air Force One. He did it like no other president in the world. Normally presidents step out of their airplane in like a frumpy manner. Like, you know, there's no class or skill. Just like come out. But Barack, he wouldn't step out, he'd emerge. He'd emerge like he was stepping out of the plane and into a music video. You know, he'd just do that thing where he'd come out. And then he'd go down the stairs, doing it the only way he could, you know. The way he descended, it almost looked like every time he hit the ground, he was just gonna go into verse 1, you know? Just straight in, just like, girl, I wanna take you there, give you my Obamacare. Oh man. Barack Obama's just too cool. You know, he had the walk, he had the talk. And that was the big thing a lot of people never realized about Barack Obama, is the talk. That's what really gave him the edge. He has a certain way of speaking, a certain voice that commands your attention, makes you feel about him a certain way. It's the accent, the way he speaks. And I don't know how many people realize this, but Nelson Mandela had the same thing. Yeah. See, the thing Barack Obama has in his voice, that is the voice of a first black president. Now, a lot of people didn't notice that because he was the first and last first black president of the United States. So you wouldn't know to compare. I'm lucky in that I've gotten to be, I've gotten to live in the country of two first black presidents, namely Nelson Mandela and Barack Obama. So I know what I'm talking about. They both have that thing. It's just difficult to hear because Nelson Mandela is obviously South African and he was older, but they both had that thing in the voice. When Nelson Mandela would speak a room with silence. You could feel the energy.
I believe that every person, regardless of the color of their skin, should have equal rights, and they may never be taken again. To those who would seek to oppress, I say to you, never and never again.
And the people would lose their minds, and people would feel the chills because he had that thing. Like Nelson Mandela was destined for greatness because of that voice. He could not be a normal man with a voice like that. You can't do normal things with that voice. You are destined for greatness. You can't just be running around in the streets,
And a Kit Kat, please.
No. It's so unique. You can't be silly. What are you making, prank phone calls? Who the hell is this?
I'm not telling you.
It just doesn't work. I remember when Nelson Mandela was still alive, and he would tell jokes at press conferences and events, and no one would laugh. Because everyone thought a man who had been in jail for 27 years couldn't make a joke. And yet he still did. He still kept what was him. But it was partly because of that voice. He would tell the joke and it would just sound too epic for people to laugh. Everything he did, it'd just be like,
knock, knock.
he'd be like, let him in, let him in.
No. You must say, who's there?
He is so right. We've always got to ask, who's there? Who's here? Who are we? Oh my God. It was because of that voice. The first black president voice. And I'll never forget the day I saw a picture of Barack Obama meeting Nelson Mandela for the very first time. It's a beautiful image, and it's of the two men in silhouettes. In Chicago, Nelson Mandela sitting in a chair, Barack Obama leaning over him. And this was way back in the day. This was before Barack Obama was a blip on the presidential radar. He was a junior senator. Not many people knew his name. Back then, he was driving around in his own car, no motorcade, had his aide with him. And that day they heard Nelson Mandela was going to be in Chicago meeting people. Barack Obama wanted to meet him his whole life. And so he rushed over there. And he was the last person Nelson Mandela saw, the last person he saw that day. And I always imagine Nelson Mandela was sitting in the room, and his assistant came over. She was like,
Mr. Mandela, I know we said we are done, but unfortunately there's just one person who would like to meet you, sir.
I was like, Zelda, I'm so tired. Can we leave?
No, I know you want to leave, Mr. Mandela, but there's a young man that you really need to meet. His name is Barack Hussein Obama.
Barack Hussein Obama. He's American.
Yes, that's correct.
He is going to have a tough time. Where is he?
He's right outside the door.
Okay, show him in. Show Barack in.
Okay, I'll be right back.
and she went over to the door.
She's like, Mr. Obama, Mr. Mandela will see you now.
And Barack walked in. He was super excited to meet his idol. Nelson Mandela was sitting on the chair. He looked over.
Young Barack, how are you?
And Barack was like, oh man, Nelson Mandela, man, this is the craziest day of my life, man. I can't believe this shit right now. I can't believe I'm meeting Nelson Mandela for the first time, man. Oh man, I waited my whole life for this moment. I'm like, I won't be just like you, man. I read your books, man. I saw what you were doing in prison. I was like, I'm gonna be the first black president of America. I'm gonna do the same things you did, man. I'm gonna win those votes, and I'm gonna be the first black president of America. And Nelson Mandela was like,
not with that voice. You will scare the white people.
oh man, Nelson Mandela, this is the greatest day of my life, man. Oh, I don't even understand how you know, man, I just want to know from you, how do I do it? How do I do what you did? How do I become the first black president?
Well, first things first, we need to change that voice. You don't sound like you are going to lead anything.
I don't know what you mean, man. I don't know what you mean.
You are speaking so fast. Slow it down. You are not being chased anymore.
I never thought of it like that, man. I never thought,
Slow down, slow down.
okay,
I guess I do speak fast sometimes. I could slower than that. I could slow it down. I could slow it way down. Is this good? That's better. Now, you need to make sure you add some bass to your voice.
I don't know why that's an issue.
Imagine if I spoke like this. Do you think people would have voted for me? No, I would still be in jail. Bring some bass.
Okay, I could try to I could try to bring some bass. Is that
Lower than that.
I could go lower than that. Is that good?
Lower than that.
Lower, way down. I could keep it here. I can keep it here.
That's better. Now, very important. To be a first black president, your pacing must be powerful. Every word must seem like the last you will ever speak.
Wow, that's powerful, Mr. Mandela. Let me try to speak like that. Does that work?
That's good. Very good.
I can feel it.
Yes, now for the magic touch. To be first black president, you need to have the husk. No more husky. That's it, you are getting it now. That's it. I think you've got it. Now repeat after me. America.
America.
No, the husk. Bring the husk back. America.
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 America. America. Yes, I can feel it. Say, this is my country.
This is my country.
Yes, this is my dream.
This is my dream.
Yes, I can feel it. You are going to be the first black president.
I don't know. Do you think we can do it?
Yes, we can.
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 You've got it right. Now go get them, my nigga.